What a way to begin the week. It's a Monday here, beautiful one, the 5th day of May 2025. So if you check your calendar now, you would see 050525. It's a beautiful one. And this morning, we say good morning to you and welcome aboard our show GHOne on GHOne television this morning. There is so much that has been happening, but we are really excited because God has given us the grace and granted us the fortitude to be a part of today. And so if you're alive today, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the fact that perhaps your lights went out yesterday and you didn't have a good sleep, come on. The best news you can have in the morning is the fact that your eyes can open, your ears can hear, your mouth can speak. These are the blessings of God that we should not take for granted. Good morning to you once again. Welcome aboard the show today here on GHOne television. And it's been a roller coaster. Last week was very hectic. Now this week promises to be even more hectic because we are starting the week with a huge demonstration, we are told. And so about 4 political parties, minority political parties, are peeved about the decision of President John Dramani Mahama to suspend the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Saki Tokono. He says that he followed the Constitution, had to suspend her for the processes to roll, basically with regards to investigations and to some petitions brought before her. Now, the minority parties say they smell a rat. They believe that it's a grand orchestration for a larger purpose. And so, for that reason, today they are demonstrating on the streets of Accra, and we are definitely going to bring you live pictures and videos from that demonstration because we are EIB, and definitely, you know, if it's newsworthy, that's where we will be. And so shortly we'll be crossing over there to also let you know how things are shaping up ahead of that particular demonstration today. But first, let me bring you, we'll get into the details of that shortly, but then let's check out the quote of the day. So our quote for this morning is from Helen Keller. It says, never bend your head, always hold it high and look the world straight in the eye. Look the world straight in the eye. So it's basically calling on us to, have faith and also not give up easily, not be cowed into submission by the pressures or the negativities that we may encounter. Listen, chest out, face it head on, and that's where success will also be your portion. So that's from Helen Keller with the quote of the day. Let's check out the word of the day.
Today's word is ANNIHILATE, annihilate. It's a verb. Annihilate means to destroy something completely so that nothing is left. Let exemplified. Authorities are worried Galamsey will soon annihilate Ghana's water bodies. Annihilate.
So extra tall guy with that, the word of the day, annihilate. I know how we have mispronounced this word for years. Annihilate, I will annihilate you. But that's the essence of our word of the day, to help you improve your grammar, to help you improve your vocabulary, just so that you can interact with people and, use the word in a beautiful way. They'll ask you, how did you know? You told them you learned it here on GH today. It's time to now look at the video of the day. Is he your savior? Is he your healer? Is he your redemption? Yes, that's our video of the day this morning. And like I said earlier, it's a very busy morning. And so we're zooming straight into Inside Out for today. Right, so for Inside Out today, we are solely zooming a lot. We are spending a lot of time, I should say, on the demonstration that is built to happen. I would like to pick your thoughts on whether you think the demonstration is necessary at all. And then looking at the posturing of the demonstrators and the accusations and counter-accusations that have already characterized the demonstration that is yet to hold. The police has also released a statement on security arrangements for the demonstration. But there's a particular video I would like to share with you first. It's of Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, former MP boss. He's been saying some really interesting things. Now, you know, after the defeat of the NPP in 2024, there's been a lot of controversy after the Okwe report was also presented to the party. Now, there's been a lot of people talking and saying, well, this is what we did. We are sorry. We are sorry. Guess what? Mustafa Abdul Hamid, doctor, says, you can be sorry. Some of us, we are not sorry. Listen.
Yourself the truth. Why were you saying break the 8? Because you knew that it has never happened before. You were just trying to do the impossible. If you are trying to do an impossible thing and it hasn't happened, why are you hard on yourself? For what reason? You know it. That's why you were doing break the 8. Because you know that it is difficult to break the 8. That's why you made it your slogan. That's number one. Number two, you knew that no first-time candidate has won an election in this Fourth Republic. You know that. And you have done 8 years. You have presented a new candidate and you didn't win. And you are beating yourself. Wallahi, I'm not beating myself. Wallahi, I understand it. I'm not upset. And I don't think that anybody is responsible for anything. We did our best. Why? If we had won the election, would we have formed a committee to look at why we won? You will not. You would have thought that the campaign team was perfect. The campaign manager and Nana Komia and all these people would have added it as more badges of honor, as more laurels that they have won. Because they did their best. So if they didn't win, so be it. As Muslims, we are all taught to say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That's all. It's a very simple matter. So, Bob Marley says, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. In our case, we didn't even fight and run away. We fought and we are here. We are fighting again. So I beg you, I just came to Damango to say that all these things General Secretary and Co are saying, Dr. Bawumia, well, they are nice guys. I'm not a very nice guy. So they are nice guys. They will say they are sorry, they did this. But wallahi, there is no policy that the MPP... And so let us stand together. We, like I told you, myself and Clifford and Co, we started from opposition. We started in 1991-92 as opposition people. So opposition is not something that frightens us at all. It doesn't frighten us at all. If you attend Presec, Achimota, and you become a great man, I don't care about you. I respect somebody who attended Damango Secondary School or Boku Secondary School and becomes a big man. So fighting from the ground up, that is what resilience it is. You cannot win always. You cannot win always. I have a son, my firstborn, who says he's going to contest to be constituency secretary for Medina. I told him, I said, Zaki, I am going to come to Medina and campaign against you to lose. Why? Because all through his life, he's been winning elections. JHS, SRC president, SRC president, CAS 4 Hall secretary, SRC president, UCC. I said, no. You see, if you are winning all the time, you will tend to believe in your own invincibility. Sometimes it is important to lose, to learn humility, and learn that God exists. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
So yes, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid with the Assalamu alaikum at the end of that speech. And this has drawn quite a mixed bag of reactions. It's split opinions on social media. I've seen people say, well, the man just spoke the truth. He's actually letting us know exactly what the position of the NPP should be. Others say, what? Is it trying to say that the policies like DDEP that led to people losing huge sums of money, investment they had put together in those financial vehicles, is he trying to say he's not sorry for those things? Well, Dr. Bawumia says, we are sorry. Mustafa Ahmed said there is no policy implemented by the NPP that he is sorry for. Wallahi. That's what he says. And I don't know what your thoughts are. Prepared for the loss. Is it the case that the NPP did not really prepare to lose, or they had a machinery in place that was guaranteeing them that, yeah, definitely they were going to win the elections? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine this morning. But away from Mustafa Hamid and his commentary or the speech he gave there, let's talk about the demonstration that is built to hit the streets. Now, what I can tell you now is that momentum is gathering at the demonstration center because they are putting the numbers together. But I want you to go back and then have a feel of why we are having this demonstration today. Let's listen to that press conference organized by the political parties and backing on today's demonstration.
Respected judges, some of them, I am aware, we are aware, that are being promised by the NDC government. It's about protecting the institutional integrity of our republic. It's about drawing a line in defense of the Constitution. And it's about telling those in power, you may have your term, but you do not own the state. The framers of our Constitution understood that democracy without an independent judiciary is no democracy at all. That is why we are gathering on Monday, 5th of May, to say enough is enough. To say that the people of Ghana will not sit idly by while their courts are captured. To say that the power may change hands, but the Constitution must always stand. Our respected judges, some of them, I am aware, we are aware, that are being promised by the NDC government. Today, it is Tokonu. Tomorrow, it may be them. They should listen and listen well. I want all judges in the country to know that their institution is under attack.
Right, so that's the minority caucus in Parliament, leadership there, Alexander Kwamna Penyo leading the charge and also indicating why they be a big part of today's demonstration. He believes that what John Dramani Mahama, president of Ghana, has done is slapping the face of the judiciary. He believes strongly that John Dramani Mahama is seeking to, cause a tsunami in the judiciary with this particular suspension of the Chief Justice herself. So that's the basis for all of this. And they're not the only political party. We have about 3 others joining the NPP for this demonstration. And the police has also released a statement chronicling security arrangements. So let's quickly go through the security arrangements for the demonstration this morning. And it says that Accra Regional Police Command wishes to inform the public that the comprehensive security arrangements have been made for the demonstration. Now, it's expected to start at 7 a.m. and end at 4 p.m. Now, this is the approved route. The park opposite the Supreme Court to the Mofa traffic lights in front of the High Court complex, Ministries Police Station, Stadium traffic lights, Usu Cemetery, Parliament, Liberation Road roundabout, Ring Road Central, and then converge at Christ the King. Now, the police says that officers will be deployed along the entire route to ensure safety and maintain public order. So, if you are leaving home, these are the places you need to start avoiding. Else, you would be stuck in some gridlock that would make you late for work. And so that's what the police is assuring, that they according to the Public Order Act 1994, which is Act 491, they will uphold their commitment to a peaceful and orderly demonstration. And they're also asking the public or the demonstrators to also uphold same. Now, the Accra Regional Police Command remains committed to safeguarding public safety and the right to lawful assembly, and is signed by Mrs. Juliana Obeng. She is the PRO for the Accra Regional Police Command. And so let's leave the route on the screens. Let's let people know exactly the routes they need to avoid, because it's starting from the Supreme Court all the way to Christ the King, where they will terminate that particular demonstration, sending signals to President John Dramani Mahama, followed by petitions basically to let him know that they are not pleased with what he's doing. They want him to revoke the suspension of the Chief Justice, reinstate her as soon as possible, and because they believe that this is the executive's interference in the judiciary. So yes, 4 months into the John Mahama administration, we are seeing this demonstration by 4 political parties. I would like to pick your thoughts on this matter. Do you think that this demonstration will change anything? The concerns raised, at a point, the minority believes that John Dramani Mahama is seeking to use a new Chief Justice and then be able to, amend the constitution some way, somehow, for a 3rd term. That's the belief. Others also say that with the oral prosecutions, John Mahama needs to get rid of the current Chief Justice so that the incoming Chief Justice will now facilitate oral. Those are all allegations being thrown and bandied around as a result of this action taken by the President regarding the Chief Justice. So what do you think of this demonstration? The reasons that are being given for these demonstrations, do you believe they are tenable? Do you think the demonstration will achieve its desired results? Are you going to join the demonstration? Call me now. The numbers are on your screens. Just put in the call and let me know exactly what your thoughts are concerning this particular demonstration. Mind you, in the course of the show this morning, we'll also be heading to the Supreme Court area where the demonstrators would be gathering, and then bring you some momentum and also follow through till it terminates at the Christ the King church here in Accra, opposite the Jubilee House. And so we have, my first caller is on the line from Obuasi. Hello there, good morning. Your name and what exactly is on your mind based on this?
Yeah, please, I'm called Reverend Robinson from Obuasi.
Right, Reverend, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
I hope you're doing well.
Oh, by the grace of God, I'm doing well.
Fantastic. So, Reverend, what do you make of this demonstration this morning?
Yes, there is something I want us all to know. It is not right for the executive to interfere into the judiciary. But one thing I want everyone to know is that when you are appointed as a Supreme Court judge or a judge, you must respect the office and use the office to serve the good people of Ghana, but not to be a politician in that office. When you do so, the political class will stand against you. They will chase after you. So this demonstration going on today, I don't think it will change anything. So I'm pleading, those holding offices, Supreme Court judges, all the judges, don't allow the politicians to influence you and influence your offices. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend. From Obuasi, he believes that, this demonstration would not really yield anything substantial, but then his caution is to the justices, the judges, basically to uphold the tenets of their job. Well, we have another call on the line. Hello there, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Hello? Raymond, can you hear me? Well, it looks like Raymond's line is a bit tricky this morning. You can also call. The numbers are on your screen. And please, when you do call, remember to turn down the volume on your television set and make your points clear and on the phone. So the numbers are still on the screen. You can just call me. Let me know exactly what you make of today's demonstration. Are you joining? And if you're not joining, why are you not joining the demonstration? Do you believe that the organizers of the demonstration have very cogent reasons for this particular one? Muniru has joined me on the phone lines. Muniru, good morning. How are you doing?
My opinion to add to the demonstration is not necessary because, as we can see, for the past 4 years, we can see what the MPP government and the Chief Justice has did to Ghana. So we don't see any important information about this demonstration. So that's what I also have to add.
Right, Munir. So you don't believe that John Dramani Mahama is seeking to oust the Chief Justice so he can change the constitution and run again?
No. I even believe that if he changes the constitution, that will even help us better. Because as you can see, where John Mahama has started from, we can see that he's going to take us far, and then it's going to transform Ghana into the future.
Okay. Munir, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. You can also join us with your thoughts on this particular matter. And the phone lines, the numbers are on your screens. You can just pick any of that. Well, we have another caller from Lashibi. Hello there. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too, sir.
Very well, thank you.
Right. So what's your name?
My name is Koku.
Okay.
Calling from Lashibi.
Right. Koku.
Yeah.
So what do you make of the demonstration today? Are you joining?
I am not joining because there is no need for it. And I just want to advise Honorable Markin, what is it?
Afenyo Markin?
Afenyo Markin, that he should be very careful as to what he's doing. And just advising the judges. He's not the only brainy person, and he's a very young man. He should just be very careful. Those judges he's warning and advising are probably more intelligent than himself. So politics should not be an insultive issue. He should just be very careful because he's still a young man. He still has some years ahead of him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Koku. George from Adenta has also joined the conversation. George, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, brother.
I hope you're doing well.
Oh, very well, and you?
I'm also well, by God's grace. Are you joining the demonstration today?
Today, actually, I won't join, but I'm joining them in the spirit.
In the spirit?
Because of what, yes.
Why are you joining the demonstration?
Yeah, it's very, very good for them to demonstrate so that the whole world will know the NDC, their character. That's how they are.
Right.
Yes. So all Ghanaians who have the time must join this demonstration to show them that they can't do what they want. The country is not for NDC and John Mahama.
Right.
Nobody has said the country for them. Now you have the executive, you have the parliament who you have. Now you want to enter to the judiciary and they capture that place. Because you don't mind, if you send liberal cases, you have a judge that you think that judge will rule in favor of you.
Right.
No matter whatever rubbish case you take to court. You think that's how things are doing. So they just want to cap the court so that they can capture the whole country and do whatever they want. Because he said it in the opposition. That's what the NDC they are. They always attack the judiciary. That's how they are.
Right.
So every Ghanaian who love this country and love our democracy must join this demonstration.
Okay.
Unless you don't love this country and you don't love the democracy we are enjoying.
All right. George, thank you.
That's how they are.
George, thank you. That's George from Adenta.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Let me give the final bite to my good friend Aina, the Ashanti region in Kumasi. Hello there. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Bro, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm blessed. So what do you make of the demonstration today? You are in Kumasi, so obviously you cannot join.
Yeah, definitely. But my opinion, this demonstration is unnecessary. Because there are a lot of precedents, even the former commissioner of the listing, the electoral commission was ousted and she was taken away. These people saw nothing about it and they did nothing about it. So why now? This man, like I can see the apostle of going to the Supreme Court. If he thinks there's nothing wrong with this one, why can't he go to the Supreme Court for him to overturn? Because he has been found of turning the ruling of all the independent state institutions. Why not this one? He should go to court. So this demonstration will not solve anything. And at least every well-meaning Ghanaians knew that where the Supreme Court is heading, wasn't the right place. So I'm not enthusiastic with the demonstration. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you all for calling in. That's all time will allow us to do. And for those who called in, thank you. For those who tried but could not also get through, thank you. But what is very clear is that the demonstration is holding today, and here is where you get all the updates on that particular demonstration. My colleague Obed King Gaglo will be joining us also in the course of the show to give us some live updates from the demonstration and then carry us through till it terminates around 4 p.m. you're told, according to the statement released by the police service. And so if you have to journey along any of those routes, know that there would be some disruption to traffic flow as a result of this particular demonstration. But that's how we culminate and then terminate on Inside Out this morning. With our guest on the newspaper review segment, and then we would also have some interviews for you on the show this morning. And remember, you are a very big part of the conversation, so join us on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube, and share the links, and also make sure you get interactive with us. Let's know what's on your mind with regards to all the issues we'll be discussing today. And so shortly we'll be getting to the courts, because Murtala Enusa is getting ready to update us on all that has been happening in the courts and what we should also look forward to. The interesting bit is that today's demonstration is also starting from the courts, and so shortly we'll be getting to Murtala and have a proper appreciation of what is happening in the judiciary, all the cases that he's been following, whether there's an update on Kwabena Duboahin, who was remanded into custody last week, 7 working days, we are told. And so today would be like day 2, some way, somehow. Even though Saturday and Sunday, Kwabena Duboahin also has his issues in court regarding his bail and matters arising. So much to talk about. And so when shortly we'll get to interact with Murtala Enusa on that. But I'm very keen that you do join us on social media. Perhaps you're getting ready to leave the house, and so the television was not helping, but carry us along on Facebook at GHOne TV, on YouTube, and also on X. But it's time to bring you Caught Today, and the man Murtala Enusa is here. Murtala, good morning.
Just Kodjo Mensah.
You're looking very sharp.
Yeah, I'm learning from you.
Hey.
I'm learning from you.
But there's a demonstration today. You're wearing suit.
Murtala, why are you not demonstrating?
Oh, I actually have to be here to inform, to educate,
to bring all the live action.
To bring all the live action to my viewers. If I leave here right now, that would not be done. And I love my viewers so much. I cannot deny them.
So in other words, you are demonstrating
against
you. Demonstrating.
Right, man.
Yes, how was your weekend, though?
Oh, my weekend was good. It was good. It was very hectic, but it was good. Yeah, we thank God. We thank God for life.
I have a mixed weekend. In North London, it didn't go well. Arsenal, we lost to them off.
You people should just forget about football.
Then Ghana's version of El Clasico, Super Class.
Yes, Kotoko.
Super Class.
Hearts of
Kotoko Hearts. Some boring 0-0. I was at the stadium yesterday, and actually I wasted my money. You
see?
The team paid
That's
me.
why you should just take me to the court and forget about the football. I mean, what's happening, Murtala?
Yes, Joshua Kodjo Mensah, you mentioned about Kwabena Duboahin.
Yes.
So last Friday, something changed by way of the very first time that he and then the wife, Major Donko, and then the company Advantage Solutions were charged officially by the Attorney General with 11 counts. They pleaded not guilty. And on Wednesday, when their plea were taken, the court directed that they remain on their previous bail conditions. The Attorney General had argued that he's interfering with potential witnesses, and so him in particular, the AG is opposing to bail. The court said, look, we want further and better particulars why you want Kwabena Duboahin remanded. So come on Friday, because Thursday was a holiday, for the court to sit. But then it will be dealt with in camera. behind closed doors in chambers or in private. Rightly so. On Friday, that happened. Dr. Justice Mensah, as you can see on your screen, the Deputy Attorney General, was the one that led the AG's team to the court. And Samuel Atachia also led Kwabena Edu-Boahen in court in relation to that. So they had in-camera section for nearly about 40 minutes. And when we go back, first thing first, one of the ways of gauging to know what is happening, which party is going to smile. Sometimes you look at the facial expressions of the parties coming out, and then you know that something has changed. Particularly with respect to Samuel Atachia, you could see that he wasn't in a mood at that time. So the judge sat, Justice John Eugene Nyadu Nyante made references, and in fact he recounted what happened on Wednesday, why the court asked that the parties come on Friday, and the court was of the view that he has looked at the liberty of the accused person, the rights vis-a-vis the interest of the state, particularly also so because the AG is alleging that potential witnesses are being influenced by the accused person when granted bail. So the court said, in the light of that, the court will want to balance the whole issue. 7 working days, not 7 days, is different from 7 days. 7 working days is different from 7 days. So you made mention about today is day 2 or day 3 or something. So Friday is not part of the 7 work. Dunyante settled and all of that. Moment after, we've been engaging Samuel Atachia, that is the lead counsel for Kwabena Edu-Boahen and the other accused persons. Let's hear his reaction moments after his client was remanded.
He brought it to our attention. Let's see what they bring. I don't want to, eat a meal which is not cooked. Yeah, I thought we should wait. And then what they said in the press, we will never prosecute anybody unless we have all the evidence. You see, this cancels the initial position. We don't have the evidence, but we rush the man to court. I come and plead the record for more time. That's a travesty of justice, playing with the liberty of the individual and vain experimentation. I'm not demanding, but I'm careful. Let's have a full conversation and somebody says that, I'm trying to, romance the Attorney General. There's a precedent. And now I've been around for some time. I don't want to talk to the Attorney General, although we are very good friends, lest somebody might even go and interpret it. And somebody might even go and lick a tape. Atta is hobnobbing with the Attorney General so that
he'll be back in court and the court will give further directions as to how this case should progress. Most often than not, prosecution will be asked to file their processes, disclosures, witness statements, and all other processes that they want to rely on, serve the accused person. They'll have to look at it, come back to court for case management conference after that. Then case management completion plan is drawn for how the trial will go, and then date is fixed for all of that. So in the coming days, we'll get that understanding and how the court want this trial to go on, all of that. So Kwabena Edu-Boahen on Friday, instead of his previous bail conditions were revoked, and then the court remanded him. So in the coming days.
So he's remanded into which custody?
Yoko's custody. Right. Yes, Yoko's custody, because Yoko has been heavily involved in this whole matter, and it was in the custody of Yoko that he and the others were granted bail, and then they came to the court. He said it was too much, it was onerous, and the court had to revise it to 80 million, 2 sureties, 1 to be justified. That is for Kwabena Edu-Boahen. The wife, 80 million, no justification. So that is how. We
also heard from the AG when he at the press conference mentioned that he was confident that they were on the right path because he believes in the ability of the boss of Yoko, Raymond Archer, to be able to get the right things in
absolutely
place.
So for them, they believe in the kind of investigation that they are carrying out and all that they think that will be needed to secure convictions once they start charging people. And the AG informs her the last time at the presser that this very week, so we should watch out for this very space, that we've seen a lot more charges coming. The Sky Train, Professor Amiyao Kofi, he makes the point that it is ready and charges will be filed next week. And he spoke to her last week. So that next week is this week that we look forward to. Then the National Service Ghost Name Scandal that one also we should expect to see something from the office of the Attorney General. Then of course the National Cathedral. You know, the National Cathedral. When are we expecting Ken Ofori-Atta in town? That is sometime in June.
In this month?
No, it's June. I think it's June rather. June 2nd.
No, wait,
yeah, it's June 2nd. Yes.
I saw the letter that said
the letter.
So I'm expecting him.
I think the point that was made to the effect that I want to come back in the country in June. So the countdown is on. So in less than a month, if you want to look at it in that way, we should have Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister, back in the country in relation to issues that have been put forth. And you note that it was the office of the special prosecutor initially declaring him wanted, and at one point in time it was set aside, and because of the engagement, the correspondence that came from his legal representative and asked that he would arrive in a specific date, and sometime in June we have been told that he will come down.
Second day of June.
Second day of June. That will arrive. So June 2nd, we expect Ken Ofori-Atta. In relation to the National Cathedral, lots of information will also come out in relation to that. So those are few things that we should look forward to and all of that. But the big one today is the
demo.
The demo. Yes, over this on the grounds.
The legal demo.
Yeah.
The judiciary demo.
So the understanding is that they will present a petition to the judiciary. There will be one to Parliament and then another to the presidency.
So all the three arms.
Yes, all the three arms of government. So they will petition them and all of that. So, but what would be the effects of this demonstration? Or, in your view, what do you think this demonstration is geared toward? Yes. You don't have a view on it.
It's like
the reason. The reason I'm asking of your view is that if you look at in the scheme of things, what exactly is the demonstration focusing on? Is it the
John Mahama to revoke the suspension?
Is this the constitution that made the provision for how persons within Article 71 office holders should be impeached or removed, or it is the suspension that was activated based on provisions within the 1992 Constitution that was going to be? So, which one? I'm trying to understand.
Well, when you listen to the organizers of the demonstration, it's quite clear that they feel that the suspension is just
that is a discretionary
tip of the iceberg. That is a little or one of the key things that is supposed to be done in the grand scheme of things to ostensibly get John Mahama a third term among others in terms of manipulating, and that's their belief, you understand? And so the demonstration, they say, is to put pressure on John Mahama to say, you know what, the decision you took to suspend the CJ, you need to revoke that.
But why do we believe that once the Chief Justice has been suspended, it's an outright sack?
No, you see, that's the thing. So I can tell you on authority that all the leaders of the demonstration know for a fact that the suspension does not mean a sack. They are aware. Apenyo Markin is a lawyer. Look at all the people who are joining. We are talking about MPs who are lawyers belonging to the MPP, the Elephant Party. So they are aware. But then you see, it's not just about what the law says. It's about what it seems to the people. You understand? And so when we say, oh, John Mahama is suspended there, it is a sure thing to make sure that she's out of office. So we'll not allow even the suspension to stay. Because if it stays, then the probability that the CJ will be removed finally. And I mean, one communicator of the MPP made an analogy. It says that, the cockroach can never be innocent
in the midst of
the gathering of house. Oh. Exactly. Regardless. So, this is politics, heavy politics.
So that is where the challenge is, where we want to politicize everything, okay? In our country, I believe that once we are dealing with something, we say this is politics, then it means it is far from what the truth should be.
Yeah, well, that's the sad aspect. But, I mean, we are here. We'll be monitoring.
So we are monitoring whatever is happening, and we'll bring you up to date.
Thank you.
On that tomorrow morning. I know that from throughout the GH today. We'll be on the grounds, looking at what is happening and all of that.
Definitely.
Tomorrow morning, we'll be here and bring you excerpts of whatever took place within the demonstration, also around the courts.
Amazing.
All of that.
Mutala, thank you. Thank you so much. That's Mutala Inusa. He is our legal affairs correspondent, giving us a breakdown on legal matters here on court today. Shortly, we'll be bringing you sports charts. I mean, Mutala was very sad because his team in the UK didn't do justice for him. His team in Ghana also failed him some way, somewhat. And at a point, he believed that he just wasted his money at the Accra Sports Stadium watching Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And then the Great Accra Hearts of Folk, it didn't go well for him. But the man who has all the filler in the world of sports and who has some form of a bet with Mutala, and I'm the referee, to be shaving one person's head off. GHOne's ADZI is here with Sports Charts. Yes, so like I said, GHOne is here. GHOne, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, like Monday morning. You are welcome, sir.
You're looking sharp.
Thank you.
I'm loving the look.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. It's for someone this morning. Yeah.
Says the guy who says he wants to be a pastor.
Sorry. Pastors can fall in love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this morning, we will not talk about Arsenal. Quick question. Do you think Hearts and Kotoko has lost its value?
Well, I think over time. Over time. Because I remember the kind of euphoria that characterized Hearts and Kotoko matches. Like, it was a real big deal.
Yeah.
Look at even what led to the stadium disaster.
Yeah.
Among others. But now the euphoria is not.
Yesterday, Mutala wasted his 50 cities.
You should have used that for Gobe.
But do you think 50 cities is too much?
No, I don't think it's too much. In the scheme of things, it can't get you proper stuff. So,
Popular stand though.
Oh, it's okay.
50 cities.
It's okay.
Well. Okay, let's go and talk about the Ghana Premier League because yesterday Accra Hearts of Folk and then Kumasi Asante Kotoko was settled for a 0-0 draw. Interesting one it was in the game. A lot of fans complained that the game was boring and then they didn't like what they saw, expecting at least some goals in there. But then Hearts of Oak are settled with Kotoko 0-0 draw, and then we see other results here. Hearts of Lions beat Samatex 2-1. Pechim United also beat Legon Cities by 1-0. Eduana 3, Bekum Chelsea 2, Young Apostles 2, Basake Olista 0, Nations FC 1, and then Accra Lions 0 there. Bibiani Gold Stars, interestingly, were at home and they lost to Karela United by 1-0. So this means that they've actually fell from the first position to around the third position. We'll get to look at the table soon, but then let's get to listen to Coach Karim Zito. Karim Zito is saying that, let's see, the title is there, it is not over. We can still win the Ghana Premier League title.
What's your target for this league? We have some few games to end the season. I'm still on my pledge that I'm going to win the league. I'm going to fight and then till the end. You see, when you look at the table, you look at where we are lying. Our chances of winning is very slim. But I say, until it is over, it is not over yet.
Okay, so Coach Abubakar, are you also winning the league?
Oh, the league for us, we are thinking is difficult to say we are winning the league, but we are fighting up to the end of the season. Everybody is fighting.
So the target is top 4?
Top 4, top 3, top 2, top 1 is the same. We are fighting to achieve something, but don't forget, we are coming far away.
Okay, so
right, so there you had both coaches, Karim Zito and then Abubakar Ouattara in there. But then Karim Zito also has come out to say that, see, he can teach the players how to score goals, but then he cannot put the ball into the net. It is their duty to score goals, and he's seeing that Kotoko has a problem of goal scoring.
And let him also do attention. Putting the ball into the net is the ability and capability of the player. We teach them how to score. By putting it into the net is the ability and capability of the player. Now let's come back to the other side. The other side is, this is every match you play, will bring you the trainer. You understand? So this Even yesterday, no, Friday, I did finishing. I do finishing. Because when I came, I saw that finishing was the problem. So now we are creating. Now you are left to put the body to the net. So this is where we feature. So by maybe the next game you see. I don't have to rush. I'm a new coach to this is my second game. I don't even know some of the players. But yet I'm not in them. So I have to be push. It is Accra has important. So I have to be cautious. I don't have to follow it. And we go back to the home media and share the information. So I have to use my sense of judgment to go according to the way my voice.
Right, Karim Zito is promising Kotoko fans goals in their next fixture. Let's see how that goes. Now, let's get to see the Ghana Premier League table as things stand right about now, because the likes of Nations FC and then Panduat of Lions have moved, yes, to the top of the table. So Nations FC actually first on the table right now, and then Panduat of Lions have now moved second. There you have it's on your screen. Panduat of Lions are second, 53 points. Biani Gold Stars are third with 53 points as well. Kotoko, after that draw yesterday, are now fourth, 51, and then the likes of Midiama. Well, Hearts of Folk fans, they lie sixth with 46 points, and it's not looking likely that they can win the Ghana Premier League at all. Let's move on straight to the U20 AFCON, because Ghana would be in action tonight after they played a disappointing 1-1 draw against DR Congo in their first leg on Friday. So it was a 1-1 draw against DR Congo, and then today they are going to be in action against Senegal at exactly 6 p.m. We're hoping that they can do well and get 3 points, because if they want to play in the U20 World Cup, well, only the semi-finalists will qualify for the World Cup. So we wish them all the best tonight. The under-20 side up against Senegal at 6 p.m. Now let's get on to the English Premier League. Guess who? Antoine Semenyo is in there. But then let's get to the results from yesterday and then Saturday, because West Ham United are settled for a 1-1 draw yesterday, and then we saw Brentford beating Manchester United by 4-3. Brighton played out a 1-1 draw with Newcastle. Chelsea beat Liverpool 3-1. Cole Palmer is back. He got a goal in the dying embers of that game. Liverpool are already champions, and then so it matters less to them. Aston Villa beat Fulham 1-0. Leicester 2, Southampton 0. We saw Jordan Ayew with a goal in there, and then Everton 2, Ipswich 2. Arsenal, surprisingly, were beaten by Bournemouth by 2-1. And guess what? In that game, Antoine Semenyo actually got an assist from a throw. Yes, so let's get to watch that one quickly. Antoine Semenyo gets in an assist from a throw.
Here's Odegaard through the middle for Arsenal, trying to find Rice inside the box, goes round Kepa and fires it in. Bournemouth carved open by the goal.
So Antoine Semenyo, apart from being an attacker, he's a very good right back as well. But then a good throw from Antoine Semenyo. That should do it for sports this morning. Do join us on the game at 1 p.m. My name is Jones ADZI. This is the Sports Chat, and of course we're outside.
Jones Aji.
Yes, sir.
ADZI.
So this Wednesday, bring shaving stick and water.
Finally,
I
get to shave one person.
And bring some kitchen stool so that the person will sit in front.
And we'll do it live on TV.
Live on TV.
You shave that person. Help to undergo brain tumor surgeries on the front page there. There's also a 5.8 million CD Tetekwashi Memorial Hospital Dialysis Center inaugurated, and the banner headline 2.4 million Ghanaians vulnerable to food insecurity. That's the Minister for Food and Agriculture on the front page there, Eric Opoku. That's the Ghanaian Times newspaper this morning. The Daily Searchlight says petitions against Chief Justice Shining Stars not registered with Registrar General. And when you get to see the petitions, you understand why this has been said. There, Tokono suspension, NPP 4 other parties to petition Judiciary, Parliament, and the Executive today. There's also 2025 Abuache Festival climaxed and traditional glitz, and you should see Osahin Apenyomakin. AI can significantly enrich journalism despite emerging threats. That's according to GJ President Albert Kwabena Jumfor. That's the Daily Searchlight this morning. The Daily Post this next says NPA boss confers with IGP to curb fuel diversion. Edoji Tabaklo there with the IGP Christian Tete Yohuno. There's also NYA CEO leads bold skills revolution with launch of national apprenticeship program that happened over last week. It happened last week in Tamale. There's also Kofi Juma took 40,000 cedis weekly allowance. Deputy GHOne CEO alleges. So Kofi Juma is the former CEO of GHOne, and we are told by the deputy CEO that he took 40,000 every week as allowance. That's aside his salary. Also aside his emoluments or whatever he was entitled to, he took an extra 40k. That's the allegation from his deputy there. The Daily Statesman this morning says, let's ensure mutual respect. Bawumia appeals to NPP members in light of all the furore that has greeted the thank you tour and matters arising. Says the judiciary demo set to take place today. And like we've said, we are there. We'll bring you the updates. AG's media trial against Edubwain unlawful. There's also NATO. She supports Edum Kantamanto. Fire victims with 200,000. So 100,000 cities for Edum, 1K, 100K also for Kantamanto. Unstable power disrupting water supply. That's according to the Ghana Water Limited. So if you are unable to get your supply of water, that's those of you who depend on Ghana Water. The Ghana Water says that the unstable power is why they are also unable to give you water. But for those of us who don't depend on them, we still want our lights back. The Chronicle this morning, Bawumia worried over internal attacks. NATO, she supports Edum Kantamanto to 5 victims with 200,000 Ghana cedis. Adongo's BOG still doing business with Data Bank despite previous attacks. That's captured there. And tax experts tell government use SML's PPP style to rake in revenue. Now the scripture, Proverbs chapter 19, the verse number 20. Listen to advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future. That's the Chronicle for you. The New Crusading Guide says, I will remove his artificial teeth. Abronya threatens Kennedy Japan. Come on, man. There's also Dabehene of Seshi and also in hot waters over alleged, the New Crusading Guide alleged, there's a D at the end, shooting incident at Seshi Supreme. There's also Let's Keep Hope Alive, we shall bounce back. That's Dr. Bawumia rallying NPP members. New Crusading Guide goes tri-weekly. Okay, captured there. And Volta Region Council of State members lead strategic visit to Republic Bank to boost development partnerships. And Kusiboche Jr., who speaks for Dr. Bawumia, says AG's media trial against Edubwain is unlawful. And Togbega Gadagbe Hilitaba, the fourth, pays courtesy call on Volta Region Police leadership. That was tricky. The New Crusading Guide for you this morning. The Daily Searchlight, well, we've done the Daily Searchlight already, and the story is captured there also for you. So if you need to get to know more, you can quickly just grab a copy from the newsstand and then get into the details of the stories captured on the front page of the Daily Searchlight. The Ghanaian publisher also has the story of the banter between Abronya and Kennedy Japan. Abronya charges on Ken Japan, you are selfish and greedy. Now, I thought she also donates 200,000 Ghana cedis to the fire victims in the Doom and Cantonmento. A+ makes dramatic U-turn in AG corruption allegations. He says he's never called the AG corrupt on any platform. At some points, we are told that he says that the account that was used on X was not his account. Well, we'll get to know. JM, touch not the anointed, Professor Yanka writes there. And that's it for the Ghanaian publisher this morning. Right, so we promised you here that we'll be taking you to that particular demonstration, Save Our Judiciary demonstration organized by the NPP and some other political parties, kickstarting around the judicial complex. In fact, the Supreme Court, the petition the Supreme Court, move through the ranks, get to the Parliament House, also petition the legislative arm of government, and then terminate at the Christ the King parish, which is opposite the Jubilee House, where they would also petition the presidency. So let's bring you some sights and sounds from the demonstration as they whip up enthusiasm to begin the walk.
Every day, I'm telling you today that 2028, the new Patriotic Party of Ghana, the best party on the continent of Africa, the party that believes in democracy, the party that believes in fundamental human rights, the party that believes in the rule of law. We are coming back. This is what we are doing what? We are doing what? We are doing what? And none of
So you're sure to see the leadership of the minority, Osahin, Alexander Kwamna Penyo Markin, Patricia PJ, and Alexander Akwa also there. The minority are ready for that demonstration, clad in black and red. Before that, you also saw Stika also on the stage, touting the credentials of the NPP in some way, somewhat, how they uphold democracy and the rule of law. And so, yes, that's how it's shaping up. And I've seen on social media people questioning why Osahin is in Kaftan for a demonstration. And, you cannot decide what the man should wear for a demonstration. He's going on a demonstration, a peaceful demonstration, and he's decided to wear Kaftan. Which one too is your problem? But that's how it's shaping up this morning. But let's bring you more sights and sounds. Former Education Minister has also been speaking at that particular warm-up session ahead of the demonstration. Let's listen to Educhum.
In the interest of enticing foreign investors to come here, this government, this president wants investors to come to this country. An investor sitting in any country, anywhere in the world, considering Ghana in another country, will say to himself, say to herself, I don't want to be in a country where the judiciary doesn't have the freedom to act on my case in case my business have a challenge. So within the context of what this president wants to do, transformation of Ghana, I think it's important that he takes a second look as to what he wants to do in this process. Yes, the petition was released. It doesn't merit this kind of process that we are going through. We are sending a message to the president that I want him to reconsider the decision that he's made to ensure that Ghana will be a stable environment for investors across the world. Thank you so much.
So former Education Minister Yao Osei Educhum there, and so it's shaping up pretty nicely. We'll definitely bring you live updates as and when we cross over to our man on the ground, so King Gaglo, who is doing a yeoman's job already. And so stick and stay with us. This is GH Today here on GH1 Television. We'll go for a quick break. We'll return with the breakfast review segment. Stick. This is GA Today here on GHOne Television. It's time for the Breakfast Review segment. Well, and this morning, I've been joined in studio by Issa Fusheni, who is a Western Regional NPP Director of Communications, and also Victor Kodjo Adawudu, who is a member of the NDC's legal team. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
We are doing good.
Yeah, Issa, this is the first time I'm meeting you.
I'm doing good. I don't know about it.
Oh, you do? I'm sure you're doing good because I hear there's a lot of heat in your party. So much heat.
Well, it's not that something that is surprising, something you've not seen before.
Right.
Normally, there will be disagreement within a party, but it's internal issue. We'll solve them.
But those of us outside your party, we are aware of the internal issues. So.
Oh.
And how it's being muddied around.
That's what I'm saying. It's normal in every political party.
Yes.
You go in, you have this understanding with others. You sit down, analyze issues, solve them, then you move on.
Okay.
And it's early days in our party, so we have enough time to sit down and solve our problems.
Are you sure you have enough time?
We have enough time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Council, good morning to you once again.
Yeah, good morning.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You're looking good.
By His grace. By God's grace.
Your party is in power now.
Oh, yes, at least my party is in power. At least there's some kind of sigh of relief. You feel okay, the atmosphere now, everybody can speak.
But you've been busy. The legal team has been busy. In fact, the lawyers in the party have been really, really busy, working around the clock.
Now, most of the things have shifted to the Attorney General and that. But once in a while, we look at some of the things that come, and then we can also, if we can prefer any advice and opinion, maybe we would do if it is given to you. But generally, things are going well, and let me thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
At the three arms of government, you cannot be interfering with the judiciary at a very crucial time like this.
Even if they want to demonstrate 365 days, it is their legitimate right, right? It is guaranteed that if you want to demonstrate, go through the public order, then whilst you have a discussion, the police cannot refuse you. You only have to inform the police so that they provide protection and the rest. So for me, when it comes to demonstration and others, it is their legitimate right. The only thing you have to make sure that you do not cross the boundaries or the limits that becomes unlawful or where they damage public properties and the rest. That is when the issue arises, when demonstration comes, that sometimes they need to arrest people. But I think that the way things are going, they are allowed to go on their demonstration.
What are the issues they are raising?
The issue, you see, what they fail to tell us, and with other political parties, what they fail to tell us is that what the president, in taking a decision to suspend the Chief Justice, what law, what provisions of the Constitution he has breached. They've not been able to tell us. Till date, when you ask them, they say, oh, it's a bedrock of democracy. Democracy, who doesn't know about democracy? We are all striving to make sure that we consolidate and deepen our democracy. Listen, from 1992, almost all successive Chief Justice, there have been petitions against them. Most of them at the stage of prima facie, the matter is thrown out.
Yes.
Right. It is only 2 times that we have seen that when it comes to the other superior courts of justice and the senior public servants who hold their remuneration condition is that of the superior court, we have seen 2 so far that have been removed from office. That is Charlotte Osei, Loretta Lamte, Shraj, and even some judges. You know, the announced issue, some judges were removed using the same provision. So it is not like it's a new provision that President Mahama has just come
and crafted and imported it into the Constitution. It has always been there. It has been interpreted. It has been pronounced on. Nobody has ever said that the president has that. We should commend the president and Council of State that this is the only time that temerity, that courage, that if this is what they are saying, and I've read the snippets of what I've seen on social media, and it is about her duty or person given that discretion. It is make sure that it's been elevated to a constitutional right, that you need to observe some principles. And this is what has been done. So only they are saying that, oh, democracy, we are consolidating democracy. I hear some, they say, oh, the provisions can be in the Constitution. You don't need to touch it. You don't have to tinker with the provisions. Just leave it as it is. No, why? That is why, you see, sometimes this provision, when you compare 146 to the procedure when a president can be impeached by parliament or a speaker can be taken off, they're different procedure. They're not the same. Because the president is elected by the citizens. And his tenure, he will have to render account 4 years. If he goes 8 years. A speaker is elected by parliament. Parliament, if he does anything, they can vote off. No confidence in him. Yeah. Right? And the same. So if you look at it for a speaker for the judiciary, there is a security of tenure. And once there is a security of tenure, nobody is saying that believing a judge will do. But when there is a stated misbehavior or conduct, are you saying that we should leave the provision so that they can do anything once they are going to be there forever? So that is the check and balances. And they have been given that right to be represented. So for me, the parties going, let's tell the citizens which provisions the president has breached. That maybe the president's, the principal government advisor, the attorney general, and the legal counsel to the president and all the lawyers were not able to see it. You know, the GBA was talking about Article 296, Clause C. And they are saying that you have to come with it. But that matter has been pronounced on in the... Remember the Muntie case? Eli Agbamava says that the president's discretion he used, he did not go through the proper... And the court has pronounced on that already. So, as they speak, I'm yet to come to terms to see that this provision, this is what has not been done right. Which I would definitely agree with them. But as things stand today, I disagree with them. It is their right. It is also to put the base together. And, you know, as things start, they are jostling already for who becomes presidential flag bearer. So it is an opportunity for everybody to showcase. I think this morning I saw Dr. Educhum. Yes. I'm sure the next interview will be Kennedy Ajapon. The other one will be Dr. Baumia. And so the number is coming. And that is what the grassroots within their base would also enjoy, because they know it is time. They will have to come and visit them. And once they visit them, yes, the party will be energized. And so for them, it is twofold, but yes, they want to use this as a clock to see what we are doing. But at the end of the day, it is for their party to reorganize. I think they learned from us. When Dr. Kwesi Botwe, we did reorganization, yes. They have done that. And that is what they are also following. So I think there's nothing that we should worry over this. Okay. I'm sure that today the president is launching the code of conduct for public office holders and appointees. And I think that they will look at it and see that those who are yearning to become appointees, what they can do and what they cannot do. And if you get your hands tainted, the law will catch up with you.
All right, so Isa, let me bring you to the conversation now. I mean, so his question is fundamentally, why are you hitting the streets? Which part of the Constitution did the president breach?
Let me first of all extend my greetings to the people of Western Region. You know, that's where I come from. Yes. So I extend my greetings to them and the party leadership. and those who are also participating in the demonstration. As usual, he tried to veer into the MPP politics. That is not what we are discussing now. But the issue here is, prior to NDC coming to power, you remember the utterances of former president, and that is the current president, President Mahama, what he said about the judiciary. You remember that? So if you are in power and you are applying same, what will people suspect? You said the judiciary was packed with MPP card-bearing members. And therefore, when you come, you are going to make sure that you clean the judiciary. So if you want to clean the judiciary, start from the head. So the party intentionally invited petition against the Chief Justice.
That's your reading?
That is how I read it.
Okay.
They intentionally invited petition against the woman just to kneel her. You heard him. He said they have not breached any provisions of the 1992 Constitution.
But is that not the case?
They haven't breached the Constitution, as he said. The due process per Article 146, the due process has been done. Is that not so? But we are questioning what triggered the petitions. Those petitions that were invited were assessed by the president in consultation with the Council of State. The prima facie case that he talks about, which of the petitions that they established the prima facie case? Have you been told? We haven't. I think the petitions have been known to all of us. When you go through those petitions, even if you are not a lawyer, will you be able to establish a prima facie case against the person that they are labeling allegation against?
You feel that the basis for the establishment of that was flawed?
Exactly so. You understand? So intentionally, they just want to remove the head, so that you heard recently, we'll come to that, the 7 judges that they've appointed. So their intention is to pack the judiciary with their own people. They were saying that it was pro-MPP members who were occupying the bench. Is that not so? So now they are appointing NDC, pro-NDC members to also come and occupy the bench.
But the justices that were elevated, when you look at the books, I mean, these are senior justices.
So those that Nana Akufo-Addo appointed, they were not elevated. They were brought from somewhere. Sometimes their utterances in opposition is what we are using as a rod to measure you today.
Right.
So the demonstration is to demonstrate. Ghanaians are not happy. Yes, of course. Because if we listen to comments around the country, they will tell you that it's unnecessary. That is not the reason why they voted for John Mahama. He even aggregated about 80% of their promises being done. To me, if you ask me 80%, if this is 80% of what they have done and what Ghanaians will appreciate, 80%, then we are due. First year, you've done 80%, we are not seeing anything.
It's just 4 months.
That's what we said. 120. He's not getting 120 days.
Social contract.
Social contract.
You didn't mention that. What you said is that most of your promises have been fulfilled.
No, he mentioned that the social contract of 120 days.
Good.
He can say that about 80% of that has been completed.
That has been done.
Yes.
The 120 days has elapsed. Is that not so? They've not been able to complete all the promises that they were talking about.
But it says that gives an indication.
Let's put that aside and deal with the judicial matter. He quoted about this particular clause, 296.
Yes. See.
The discretionary measure for the president.
Right.
The president can exercise it if he wants. There were so many petitions against former CGs. Government upon government look at those petitions and realize that invoking those petitions or the Article 146 will cause a problem for the country. So what they did is that they set it aside and then they move on. We have 3 arms of government in this country. We are operating on separation of power.
Yes.
He even mentioned it. The executive, the process of removing an executive in the Constitution is not something that is very easy. You have to pass vote of no confidence. When you go to the judiciary, same. When you have Speaker of Parliament, you want to remove the Speaker of Parliament. You don't just wake up one morning, and say, let's pass vote of no confidence on him. It has a process to follow. Why is it that he's a lawyer? And I believe that he should have defended the judiciary. Because the judiciary alone, that one is just by means of inviting a petition against the Chief Justice. And after that, they trigger the process through Article 146. And it's done. Very easy. Because once you have the Council of State being appointed by the president, some of them are being elected. I think 16 of them are elected. The rest are appointed by the president. And you have them on your side. And you want a petition to go through. It's very easy. Consultation with the Council of State, you establish a prima facie case, and you, the president, will set up a committee. Do you think it's very difficult to remove the Chief Justice? And that is why when you meet communicators from the NDC end, they will tell you that the Chief Justice is gone. He's not coming back. Is that how we want to practice our democracy? So today, if the Chief Justice that President Mahama will appoint today, in the near future somebody comes in and say, I don't want him to be the Chief Justice again, the only thing to do is to invite petitions against her or him. So that you can also trigger the same process. And my brother or my senior will not sit here and tell me that we have break the provisions of the 1992 Constitution. Once you follow the process, whether you erred in accepting the petition, whether you erred in establishing a prima facie case against the Chief Justice, it's not a matter.
There's been the argument that suspension does not mean her termination, and then there's an investigation that would go into the matter.
Yes.
If indeed she had nothing to do with all the allegations raised against her, it would just be thrown away, and then she still be.
I earlier on established a base for you to understand my point. I told you two things that I said. I said the communicators from the NDC are telling us that the lady was not coming back. She's gone.
Can you point out
but if the charges,
no.
But
I met so many communicators on studio.
If the concerns are so frivolous, as you put it, that it doesn't even warrant the establishment of a prima facie, shouldn't the Chief Justice not have anything to worry about?
That's where I have a problem with the Constitution. You remember the removal of the Electoral Commission. You remember that?
Yes.
And a process of removing even other justices than the Chief Justice. If you look at, I think, Article 146, Clause 4, it talks about establishment of prima facie case. But in this particular one, which Article 146, Clause 6, doesn't even talk about prima facie establishment. So you cannot even hold the president who established the prima facie case. The clause is silent on that. So now, is it the Chief Justice? Is it the President? Is it the Council of State? That is supposed to establish a prima facie case. And in that case, you go and hold the person responsible for not going through the petitions well. You can't hold anybody. Because they said in consultation with the Council of State, they established a committee. So they didn't say establish a prima facie case. But you and I know that when there is a case before you, if you are unable to establish a prima facie case, you cannot move in to set up a committee. You know that?
Yes.
So how do you establish a committee without prima facie case?
Let me, since we are educating the public.
The public, yes.
Yes, maybe the court has already pronounced, and when the court saw the lacuna and says that the Chief Justice in the first place is a judge of the Superior Court.
Yes.
So it is consultation between the President and the Council of State. They establish the prima facie case. Yes. Both. So when he consults them, then they sit down, and then the Council of State will look at it, and they say, oh, there's a prima facie case or there's no prima facie case. That's why he has to send it to them. So the GHOne case expounded or interpreted the 146. So at least it is given to Council of State to look at before the prima facie. So then when they establish a prima facie, then it is now the President who appoints. And they said clearly in that case that once the petition comes, you, the President, you cannot go straight forward and establish a committee.
So it means that particular clause has been challenged. Is that not so?
No, it has always, during Justice Aqua, it was challenged, then they went to court.
Good.
And that's for around 2005. So that has been the law for now.
They should do something about it during the constitutional review. Because people may challenge it again if they are not aware that it has been challenged. Me like this, I'm not aware it has been challenged, and that's why I'm drawing your attention to that particular clause. And another one that I've seen in the 1992 Constitution is, as I was telling you about the separation of power, something has to be done to the Chief Justice appointment. Because if you look at Article 127, which talks about the independence of the judiciary, and you look at the way they are treating the judiciary, I would clearly say that there is an interference in the judicial service. Because we are talking of check and balances.
Yes.
For them to get their strength to challenge the executive, they should be independent. People like my senior Adaugas and then the other groups, like Ghana Legal Council, the Ghana Bar Association, and other people should also sit down. The Constitution should give them some power to also select one person out of them that can also be elected. So when the person is elected and they are going to remove such a Chief Justice, it will go through a lot of process before removing such a person. But for the president to appoint, you know, the Speaker of Parliament is not appointed. The president himself is elected. So why Chief Justice appointed? Do you get it?
Yes.
So you people should be fighting for that, so that it will it will empower the judicial service to be able to function like the 127 that we are talking about. Because if you are not playing my cards, I can just wake up one day and then start process of removing you, because you are not on my side. So if this thing has to continue, the president today will leave.
Right.
And one president will also come, feel that he will not work with the Chief Justice, and also trigger the same.
Yeah. They are all Court of Appeal judges.
Yes.
There are 7 judges. Dennis J has been.
Said Dennis J.
I've heard
so much remarkable comments about him.
I don't know whether he sleeps. I don't know how he does it. He holds different positions all over. The church, the judiciary, his school. I don't know how he does it. He's writing books, and he was there since 2010. He's been at the Court of Appeal for almost 15 years. Senor Jamepe has always been there. Aka Boafo, he had practiced all along in Canada. So, and when he reads his judgment, solid. You see, you look at them, the 7 that has been promoted. I think it is based on their merits, their long stay, just to also.
So Senator Jamepe is the senior most.
Senator Jamepe has been the senior most because he started from magistrate. He started at magistrate. He actually didn't even practice. He just practiced a little bit and went from magistrate. So right from magistrate, he's been there. So he understands it very well, the nuances of the law. So if people, for me personally, I'm against the capping of the Supreme Court. You see, if you don't understand the workings of the Supreme Court, that's when you be outside. So let's cap the Supreme Court. Let's cap.
Because I've heard people say we should go the US way.
No. Because you see, they do it for life. We retire at 70, and you see, they have the review jurisdiction, they have the appeal, they have supervisory jurisdiction, they have original interpretation of the Supreme Court. Somebody can refer provision. And it's a lot.
They are all in different divisions.
Yes. Now, the same Supreme Court does that.
Okay.
And they sit in panels.
Yes.
So if you belong to this panel, and you see, before most of them gets to the Supreme Court, they will have handled a case which has come on appeal. And you were the judge in it, or you were the lawyer. So it will not be possible for you to sit on that same case. So you see, that case will have to delay. There are a lot of things that goes in. And this job, you see, once you are growing, it's about all of us as human beings, the frailties of life. Health issues also start setting in. Now, once health issues, and they sit in panel. So if one person is not well, that panel will not sit. And if there's going to be a judgment, they do the case, and even one of them has to go on retirement. He sits on that panel. The panel has to be reconstituted. It's a lot of things that goes into it. Right. So when people don't understand the workings of the Supreme Court, they say, oh, we are only thinking about the financial terms. The financial terms for, and how much is it? Even the condition allowances. That's all we're looking at. But we are not looking at the value, what they are bringing in, their contribution to our democracy. Because they gauge the mood of society and they are able to hold the balance. They are the last bastion of peace that we have. Yeah. So for me personally, people think, oh, how much is the Supreme Court judge's salary compared to senior public servants or even the politicians who come? How much do they take? How much is a policeman that comes? Even they pay some of their utilities. At first they don't pay, but they pay utilities. How much is the money for a gardener or rent? So this is how we look at it and we say, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Supreme Court should not be. But for me personally, I think that if you look at the kind of work, the volume of work Supreme Court they do, sometimes when you get close to them, you pity them. Every time they will have to read before they come. If you are not on top of their issue, that's why sometimes you go and you see cases, backlog of cases, how it has to be cleared. So I think that once that promotion is being given to this, right, then the others at the Court of Appeals, High Court, and even Circuit Court have the assurance that with hard work, we will get there. With the political nuances, people being appointed 1, 2, 3 here, being appointed to come and join, it will always continue. It will be there. But one of the things I always say is that, please, integrity is at play. I don't think that you are put in there and you come and you be speaking political things and say because this man appointed. Sometimes the person who appoints you even disappoints him when his case comes to you. Yeah. You see, it's bad. It's bad. you understand? There was a case, I think, where somebody was discussing me. I won't mention him. He's gone to Supreme Court. And you see, when he ruling government food, when he throws it away, we said it. Because but there's fundamental problem with the petition you issued. I think that's what actually happened to one of the Tepa cases. And that's what I understand what happened. Not really that the merit that the petition was thrown away, because maybe it was filed after. And once you want to file, you have to pay cost, security of cost. It's the court that determines. You don't determine how much you pay. So I'm sure the lawyer made a slip instead of going to the court to know how much. And there's timeline. You have to get the amount to pay before. So these are some of the nuances. So for me, I think that it's good. Let's see the good thing that will come out of it. And there's a lot that the courts, they do. And I think so. So we will continue to appoint. But I think that at the end of the day is the integrity. Because the judge himself knows that one day I'll leave that position. My judgments will be there for people to read. And when they read, it will cascade down to my generation, to my children, and people will see and say, oh, this man, are you getting it? Right. So what are you living? What legacy are you living? And to them at that age, they've seen it all. And that's what is paramount to them. So even if you appoint them and you bring in a bad case,
it will be thrown away.
It will be thrown away.
And that's the confidence we need to have in our justice system and in the judges, so that we do not...
My brother is in power today.
Yes.
He's speaking law instead of politics. Do you get it?
Right.
When he was in opposition, he didn't see anything wrong with the NDC saying that the judiciary was packed with the MPP people. He didn't see anything wrong. In any case, the petitions that were submitted to President Mahama, we had one petitioner in there, and then he was petitioning that the Chief Justice recommended some judges to the president for appointment, and therefore it's against the law.
No, but that one was thrown away.
No, you know, initially I asked you, which of the petitions that they established a prima facie case on? You are unable to tell me. You are aware, maybe because you are inside.
Until the committee starts to sit, all that the snipers of
so
information.
Allow me to make that point because it's not been thrown out as you are alleging. Because the committee has to sit down and determine. What I'm saying is not right. Yeah. So somebody had that temerity to petition the president that somebody recommended some judges to be appointed to the Supreme Court, and therefore the person is liable. The person should be removed. And you are telling me today that they always think it's about their integrity. You understand? And I know that when a judge is sitting down, the laws has to be applied.
That's it.
When you don't apply the law, they will say it's a miscarriage of justice. Yeah. You understand? So you have to apply the law. But in politics, because we were looking for power, we were able to tell Ghanaians that the unanimous FC sitting there, they are all MPP people. And NPP, NDC, anytime I thought they bring their case, they always throw the case away. They don't look deep into the case to find out what happened. My brother is now telling me the administrative, errors that people always commit. And through that, their petitions are being thrown away, not because they don't have a case.
Yeah. Not on the merit of the petition.
Exactly. And because he's now in power, he's educating us. Me, I'm a law student, so I'm learning from him. You understand? I'm learning from him. But let us not politicize everything. The judicial service is the only arm that when there is a coup and they overthrow the president, the executive, and the legislature, that's the only arm that functions. So if we destroy that one too, that's the only thing that when we have a case we can run to. So I'm only able to educate the public that, my brother, the case in court, somebody will go to court, they throw his case away. He will come and interview. As a lawyer, they will interview him. He will tell them that, they were biased. They did this, just to defend himself. If you don't go with good case, definitely they will throw it away. So the justice system, we have to make sure that we strengthen them. We give them that background that they can also get confidence to work. Other than that, when we bastardize that one and then the judiciary also goes off, then one day we will not...
Not the Chief Justice. And he said the perception. You know what he said? The perception that this is what is being done. So there need to be a balancing act that will have to be done in the judiciary when he is given the power. You see, FC unanimous FC.
Yes.
At the time, that was FC unanimous FC.
Yes.
At the time, that was what everybody felt that this is the law, and every time maybe you come, not even a scintilla of evidence that you also have some law that you have put in or you've espoused, but everything is going. That's where people, but some of the times we, the lawyers, we also look at it. We can criticize the judgment.
Yes,
we have the opportunity to criticize that you can say this one was right, this one, it wasn't. You see, the whole constitution we are talking about is a blend of law and politics.
Okay.
And an arrangement by which we, the people, have agreed that we want to be ruled. And that becomes the supreme law. So for me, it is important that now that we are finding some problem with this 146, the Constitutional Review Committee will have to look at it again.
Right.
To strengthen what we do. Right? I think that is an opportunity that has come at the right time. Let's be able to do that so that we safeguard our institutions. And also, let's have the temerity, the courage to confront things as they are. You know, there are some things that people will prefer not to tinker with it than... we saw Ken Ofori-Atta. It was part of the Constitution when the minority at then, now majority, attempted for vote of censure, right?
Yeah.
It has never been done
on
before
the floor of Parliament.
on the floor of Parliament. But somebody said, let's try it and see. Let's invoke it. So I think that for me, let's take the lessons, and then we will use it to refine what we are doing. And I'm sure the Constitutional Review Committee should even take it up themselves if nobody brings a memoranda for them to look at it. It is something that is, I say, polarizing society.
So only to
and if it is
when he speaks, the president listen. When you get there, let the president understand that he should invoke the Article 926, the discretionary power of the president. And you know what he says about it should not be capricious and biased. That one is my emphasis. And this particular one, there is a bias in it. There is a capricious in it. The president should really look at it again and use that particular power to say that this one, I have started it, but for me, I'm no more interested again. Let's end it there. Let's call back the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, for her to continue. Once my brother has admitted that there is no one that can bend the law, you understand, that can bend the law to suit whatever he or she wants. It means that she's competent enough. I've not seen any of the petitions saying she's incompetent. And that will only be the base of her removal. So if she's not incompetent, and based on the travel issues and other things that happens in the past, let's put them aside. You have tested the law. The Article 146 has been tested. You understand? You now know the weakness and the strength of Article 146.
Yes.
So let's move on.
Okay.
And let the lady come back and start her work. So that we'll also have the same confidence, like my brother says, we will have people going out there. When that is happening, you invite lawyers here for them to explain why it has happened. And that will further strengthen the judicial system for us to have confidence in them that even if you have your enemy sitting on the bench and you have a good case, he will rule for you.
Okay.
But the good thing is that, you see, for me, I'm confident that it's giving her the opportunity to be heard.
They have only 2 votes. If it comes to voting, they have only 2.
Out of the 5.
Out of the 5. So the three non-lawyers and non-parliamentarians and then that.
But don't underestimate the knowledge which some people, even non-lawyers, they have.
No, I'm not understanding.
Yes. When they sit down and they are analyzing, you even see one such person sometimes, it's about General Asiedu.
Yes.
You know, when we're doing the first petition and the rest, that's
what I'm trying to say that down, those 3 people are not under oath.
Yeah,
you understand? They are not lawyers. Yes. So they can decide to be biased. But the lawyers, because of the person's integrity.
But we are told that they were also put there because of the integrity.
Yes, integrity.
Level, for instance.
You see,
but that integrity that you are talking is on record. The one that is on record that I'm talking about is the justices. Those who are sitting there, they have their integrity to protect. Like we are saying, when they are sitting before the law, you understand, and they want to make their case. They do it without wasting time because they know that their integrity, and those will be put on record. You know, when you go to made those cases, you understand. So the person will not like his name to be in the bad books, but in good books. So the integrity is there to protect. But the 3 people,
it's not binding on them.
It's not binding on them. They can choose to be biased.
No. Let's for the benefit of the doubt, let's know that the right thing will be done. And I believe that whilst they are also there, although they are not lawyers, they also have some integrity within their profession.
I mean, these are high-profile people.
These are high-profile people. And for me, I think that the due process will be followed. Everything, that's what everybody is watching and say that, look, this is the process. It's gone through. And whilst we go through, at the end of the day, she will be represented by her lawyer and an expert, and they will look at it. Definitely, one day the proceedings will come out. Everybody will look at the proceedings. And while we look at the proceedings, I think that it's a process.
But then the harm has been caused.
I don't know. You see, that's why I'm saying that you don't know which of the petitions. There are several petitions that they have acted on. which will be put before her, and she'll have to respond to them. I don't know which one. We may be speculating and say, it was this petition or it was this person.
Exact, like you don't know the exact petition.
We don't know the exact petition. So until we get to know, then that is when we can. But I think that let's give her the opportunity. Right. And as we said, that look, I think she's competent enough for herself as a lawyer to go and be able, and the lawyer that she may go with, I'm not saying she will go with a competent lawyer who should be able to.
But the worrying part of the whole situation is somebody building her integrity from the scratch to the point of Chief Justice. And somebody would decide to just terminate.
But Issa, isn't it the case that even if that is the case, if at the end of it all you're found to have your hands clean, that should rather even bolster the integrity that you've built.
No, you see, I can assure you on this show.
Is it that you don't trust?
I know. I can assure you on this show that the lady is not coming back.
Maybe you know something that we don't know.
You know something we don't know.
No, I don't know.
So how you?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, based on NDC, their background, where they are coming from, and what they have done so far.
You feel regardless, she will not survive this?
She would, no. No matter how competent she is, she will survive it. That one I can assure you. On this show, I can assure you. And one time, I think when that is done, you call me.
I'll come in. I'll definitely go.
So she's not coming back. It's something that they've planned. It's a planting. Just look at the utterances in the past, and then you look at what is played.
Well, this is still the Breakfast Review segment, and we're having a conversation on matters raging. The demo is on, and Issa Husseini is clad in his black T-shirt with the red and then white inscription, clearly showing the fact that they are unhappy about the decision taken by the president. But also concerning is happenings within the party itself, the New Patriotic Party. And yes, we've heard. Now, thank you, Tor, and then the fallouts and all of that. Do you really think your party, with regards to how the trajectory on which you're going, do you think the reconciliation would be easy? And there've also been proposals that, well, let's conduct or let's run the flag bearership race early enough.
Yes, you know, whether if you contest election, whether you win or you lose,
yes,
you have to go out there and thank the good people of Ghana for exercising or even using their time to come out and vote. You remember the last election, even though we lost the election, but we had over 4 million votes. And those people are out there.
Yes.
So those 4 million people still have confidence in MPP that when given opportunity, they are the only people that can build this country. Even though the numbers were not enough to cover up, we appreciate. So the flag bearer decided that he has to do that. You know, he's not the only one that always embark on thank you tour. Yes. Even President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when he was leaving, after the tenure of his office, he has to go around the assistant region to thank Ghanaians for giving him the opportunity to serve for 8 years. And this one, he is seeking to come in. So he has to go out there and thank them. And that was, the decision was taken by the National Council, NEC, after their last meeting, that the National Party, together with the flag bearer, should go out there and thank the good people of Ghana. So there was another school of thought that, if the flag bearer is going, because we'll be having primaries ahead of us, and you know the flag bearer will be determined to contest again. So definitely other people are also willing to contest. So let's extend hands to those who contested the last time. If they will join, then they will also join, then we'll all go together as a unified body.
Thank the people.
Exactly, that was what they did. So other prominent people also joined the thank you tour. They started it from the Western region, and we did it without any problem. I think Western North, they went to Western North through to that place, Bono region, Buran Ahafwa, and then they went to Ashanti region. I think that's where the problem came in. Ashanti region, there wasn't any problem. What happened in Ashanti region was not related to the program that was held there.
Yes.
Because the program, after they have finished, and even the dignitaries left the venue, that the whole scenario, the whole scene occurred. But people tried to tag it to the MPP tour. People were saying that let's suspend the tour. No, you suspend the tour and do it when? I don't know. If you suspend the tour today, when are you going to do it? And what even shows, what guarantees that when you start again, what you are encountering today will not happen again. So the party leadership said, no, let's go ahead and then finish the thank you tour. Then after that, if there are problems for us to solve, we'll come back home, sit together, and then we'll iron out the problems that they think we are facing. So that is what is happening. And the flag bearer is somewhere in the northern region, and he's doing the thank you tour there. So the party is in touch.
But like you said, it's a thank you tour that was mooted by the National Executive Committee, the neck of the party.
Yes.
So we had others. Now, at a point, we saw people pulling out, including the national chairman also pulling out.
No, the national chairman pulling out, did he tell you the reason why he pulled out? I felt that the time they came to Western region, I saw him, and I felt that he was tired.
And people say that cannot be the real reason.
Oh, no. Seriously.
Because he pulled out after the challenges had rocked.
No. But if somebody should retire, somebody should go back and says, I'm no more going to continue. It should not be the national chairman. Because he was the head of the team.
Exactly.
He was leading the team. So if the head says, I'm not going anymore, will the team be able to move? Do you get it?
Yeah.
So that it wasn't because problems have come, so he decided to withdraw. If he decided to withdraw, the national chairman can decide that, okay, the program, we are no more going to continue the program again. Let's withdraw it and then reschedule it again. And nobody can challenge that because he's the national chairman. He's the chairman of the party today. He's the leader of the party. So there's no way somebody can attribute that to what is happening in the party and says that the national chairman withdrew because there were some happenings in the party that he wasn't happy with. No, that is not the issue.
And so how do you intend mending the cracks? Because I have sat here, spoken to persons who I knew in the lead up to the elections were firing on all cylinders for Dr. Bawumia. Today they are telling me plainly that they're supporting Kennedy Japon's bid, and they've shifted. And the kind of, sometimes it's as though the campaigning has already started.
That is democracy for you. You know, in our political party, we are not gagging anybody to go out and support anybody. We are contesting.
Yeah.
So you have every right to go and support whoever you deem fit that he can lead the party. But the utterances that comes out is what we are talking about. Okay. Even if you listen to Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia when he was going around, His Excellency, what he said is that let's not say things that we can use, our opponents can use against us. So you are free, you are obliged to go and support anybody that you wish that can lead the party. But be careful the way you talk about the party or even somebody against it, because probably it may not be Dr. Bawumia today. Your candidate may emerge a winner. So if somebody says things negatively against him and they play it back to him, you won't be happy. Why do you want to do it to the other one? Do you get it? And that is why some of us are being neutral. It isn't that we don't have anybody that way, but we come on TV station, radio station, and we are being guided by the principles of the party, because the party says that the party first before any other person. So if you are a party member, think of the party first, because
party before your candidates.
Exactly so. Because I was saying somewhere that every political party, the strength of every political party lies on the structures. If the structures are weak, and you place any candidate, no matter how strong the candidate is, the candidate cannot make it if the party structures are weak. So let's build the party structure. If we have a strong party structures, anybody at all we bring in, the person will win us an election. But we are rather destroying the party structures, thinking that we are building on our candidates. You can build your candidate to become more strong, but if it comes to work with the wrong party structures or the weak party structures, no matter how it is, it's not going to win.
Interesting.
You understand?
Right.
And that's, I can say, that was the reason why we lost our election, because the party structures were not that strong. The party structures were not that strong. So how do you expect? You remember the statement that Asedo Ketia made when they lost 2016? He said you cannot ride a limping horse to victory. You understand? So if you have a limping horse and you are racing with those who have strong horse, you expect to emerge victorious. No, you can't do that.
So you are convinced that the lack of strong structures was what largely led to what we saw in 2024?
Yes, that is my view.
Right.
That is my view, because the party wasn't that strong.
Okay.
It was like what we practiced in the past, you understand, was different from what we were doing in 2024.
Interesting. So do you also support the calls for early flag bearership elections to make everybody simmer down and focus towards the goal, which is to win 2028?
I've listened to so many people, varied opinions from different angles and all these things, and on this particular one, some have written to the Constitutional Review Committee to look at it so that we can start from the flag bearer. And then I believe that will be a positive, because the constitution of the party stated that we need to have our flag bearer as early as possible when we are in opposition.
Exactly.
So if we want to have our flag bearer as early as possible, if we are to go through the party structure from polling station, that will constitute an electoral college to elect the flag bearer. The flag bearer should be elected first, or the flag bearer should be elected first, or the polling station should start, because the constitution hasn't said anything like
about that. Okay, Issa, thank you. I know you have to go and then also
join the demo. Yes, my people are there, so I have to go and join them. Nice. And then we demonstrate, because it's very necessary.
Okay.
And it's in Ghana, what the government always listen is demonstration, because when you write petitions and nobody will hear, but when you demonstrate and air out your views, people will understand.
People will pay attention. But it's nice having you. Thank you so much for.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
That's Issa Hussein. He's the Director of Communications for the NPP in the Western Region. And earlier we also had Victor Kodjo Adawudu, who is a member of the NDC's legal team. He had to leave for court. And so, yes, that's it for the Breakfast Review segment. This is still the GH Today here on GH1 Television. We have more for you after this break. Stay with us. GH1 Television, thank you so much for staying with us. So after the Breakfast Review segment, we are zooming into health alert now, and there's so much to talk about regarding health, and because May is Purple Month. And now I feel some way because I should have worn maybe a purple tie or something. But I'll definitely do that in the month of May. We are looking at mental health and all the critical aspects of our lives that we need to pay attention to, especially when it comes to issues of mental health. Because, sometimes we just simplify the conversation to be, when people are, no. So I can be sitting here with some serious challenges and you might not be aware. And you could also have issues that perhaps you did not even know were signs or symptoms of you needing to have some form of attention. But this morning we'll get into the conversation, and my guests are seated. I have Dr. Josephine Styles GHOne. Did I pronounce that well?
Yeah.
It's okay. She's a psychiatrist at Kodjo Teaching Hospital and deputy head of communications at the Mental Health Authority. She's also here with Ms. Masha Boy, who is clinical psychologist at the Obstetrics and Gynecology Department of the Kodjo Teaching Hospital. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Doing well.
Right. So let me start with you. Purple Month. Yes, mental health. But really, what does it signify?
Okay. So Purple Month was born last year. The Mental Health Authority Ghana, because of the rising numbers when it comes to statistics of mental health issues in Ghana, thought it wise to set aside a month to create awareness on mental health, and then to make that noise for everybody to know that mental health is worth prioritizing.
Right.
And Purple Month came up because purple in itself signifies hope and support, and it also signifies some mental health challenges. And then it is the color of the authority, so why not? And that is why we go purple in May.
Okay, but for this week, for instance, there's a special focus on maternal mental health. I'm really interested. Why that?
Yes, so Maternal Mental Health Day is actually celebrated in the month of May, and it's usually in the first week. And that is why for the Purple Month, we decided to focus on our mothers. Maternal mental health is something that is very important because unlike other issues, it affects not just one person, but it affects mother, baby, family, and everyone around. So that's why we're focusing there this week.
So Masha, talk to me about the scope of mental health for mothers, maternal mental health. What was the challenge like?
So maternal mental health really has many phases, and usually it starts very mild. So you might see a bit of tearing, a bit of incompetence, feeling that I'm overwhelmed, I feel tired, I can't cope. So this is how usually it starts, and you would usually hear this in new parents, not able to cope with sleeping patterns. And then it progresses. So it's like on a spectrum. You may find interesting that a lot of people don't even know that they are struggling because our society doesn't allow us to express how we feel during motherhood, because it's expected that mothers should be able to do it. It's natural. So when you come out to talk about it, it's kind of kept inside. Don't worry, we will get over it. It happens to everybody. Everybody experiences. So people might be struggling in terms of coping with their thoughts. So there's a lot of guilt, blame, feeling that they are not able to take care of a child. They are not able to cope with the pressures or expectations. Some people are working mothers as well. So balancing that and also taking care of a newborn, taking care of toddlers, it's a lot of pressure for them. Right. Also, there are silent battles that people struggle with. For example, loss of a pregnancy. At what point do you tell someone, I have lost a child? Because expectation is that, especially for new couples, when is the baby coming? So that sort of pressure, that sort of stigma also makes people vulnerable. It doesn't allow people to express their views. And who do you talk to? Because we don't understand what maternal mental health is. We don't even know if it exists, if it's real, if it's in the mind of a mother. We don't know. So it's important for us to have this discussion to understand that it's a multifaceted. So it starts very mild, as I mentioned, a bit of crying spells, inability to care for a child. there's some neglect.
Bonding with their baby, sometimes it becomes very severe. Their energy levels are down. They don't have interest in the baby or anything else around them. They are unable to eat well. We all know there are sleep challenges with caring for a newborn, but theirs is out of the normal. Then when these symptoms are there is a significant challenge, and that can also start in the first few weeks, and if not handled properly, it can track on for months and months.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Masha, let me bring you into the conversation again.
Right.
So, aside the postpartum depression, are there other postpartum mental issues that we should be aware of?
Yes, absolutely. So postpartum, usually when you say postpartum depression, it's just one of them. So unfortunately, a lot of us put it all under one umbrella. There are quite a few conditions that would come under the postpartum period. So we have anxiety, just as you would have it during the normal period, but you are more predisposed during the postpartum period. So you have postpartum depression, you have postpartum anxiety. A lot of times in our field of work, we do see a lot of birth trauma. So they may not necessarily sometimes meet the criteria for post-traumatic stress disorder, but it's also a part of trauma disorder that you would say. Postpartum OCD, so that's obsessive compulsive disorder, also does happen during the postpartum period. And I think also that falls within Dr. Dako's area. That's a more complicated crisis. That's a postpartum psychosis. Yes, and it's an emergency.
Doc, she says it falls in your area and it's an emergency. I want to know more about that.
Oh, right. So postpartum psychosis is not as common as the other mood disorders, that's depression and anxiety. But when it does occur, the mother starts having some behavioral issues. So they can become very irritable. Sometimes they can become paranoid. That is very suspicious. Anything happening around them. And sometimes they can get suspicious to the point that nobody else can come close to their baby. They guard the baby with everything. And it even gets worse when sometimes this paranoia is towards the baby. So it can get severe that the mother can come to that point where they are having these thoughts. Sometimes they hear some voices telling them to do things which may include harming their baby. And that is why it is, she mentioned that it is a severe thing. It is an urgent thing that we need to tackle when a mother is having such experiences.
Wow. So talking about maternal health issues, from what I've gathered, it does not only affect the mother. Does it affect the baby as well?
Yes, it absolutely affects, because that's a mother-child bond. So when you look at the mother's condition, so if there's some sort of negligence because she's not able, so maybe in the case of paranoia, the child is going to be neglected. There's not mother-to-child bond in that instance. So definitely it's going to have an effect on the child development, the emotional regulations. If the mother is always sad, exhibiting signs of crying spells, having obsessive or intrusive thoughts that will say that I don't want to pick my child, I'm afraid that I'm going to drop the child. So when the child is screaming, what do you do? So that sort of bond is disrupted. It also has, you are not able to take care of the child when you should. So when the child is exhibiting symptoms of not feeling well, or the mother, due to the neglect or due to that state of not being able to be alert and in tune with what is happening to the child, may miss some of those things. And yes, it's definitely going to affect the development, the brain development of the child, because first 6 months is recommended that the children receive some breast milk and all that's immune from the mothers. So emotionally, the children also regulate based on the environment. So if the mother is not able to regulate her emotions, it affects the emotional regulation of the child. So the two always go hand in hand. And then also an aspect that maybe a lot of people don't realize, that it also affects the fathers.
And
yes.
I wanted to find out, because I'm imagining myself, thankfully, I've not seen my wife exhibit these signs, but I'll pay more attention if she's exhibiting those signs. Like with this, mother welcome a baby, it's supposed to be all excitement, and then when that is not the case, mother is going through a lot because of what she went through to bring life to the world, and the father does not understand what is happening there. How do we relate to be able to make sure that the father is supportive and does not say that, I said, after giving birth, you are not even paying attention any longer, and then take actions anyway?
It starts from conception. Yeah. It has to be intentional. So a lot of support and education has been done at the antenatal and postnatal clinics that the spouses have to come along, because there are certain topics for discussion. Men have to be part of it. So you need to be intentional about your journey. It is a teamwork. So both of you join hands together to be on board. So you need to understand that she is not the only one to bear the responsibility. Another thing also, I can look back as marriage counseling. Okay? So when you're preparing towards marriage counseling, parenthood is like the crown of your marriage. So if you don't have enough counseling when it comes to parenting, what do you do? Who do you go to? So that gap needs to be bridged. So during your marriage counseling, as you are being prepared towards marriage, parenthood should be part of discussions during that. So you know expectations, that society expects parents to be like this, but what is the expectation? So having families on board, sharing their experience, first few years of challenges of being a new parent, juggling marriage and childhood, when they share those kind of experiences, they should be able to help others to learn from it and also see how best they can implement it. And then personality-wise, upbringing of some of our men. Okay, so they are coming from homes where it's all the work of a mother. The mother struggled. My auntie struggled. So when they get to be with a partner, they don't say that they need to be involved. But child development actually needs both parents. And sometimes even needs the father more, because there are certain qualities and traits that the child can get from you, cannot get from the mother. Okay. So it has to be an intentional journey for men, especially in our part of the world.
Doug, so what support is available for mothers who are listening to me this morning and are going through these things? They can see themselves in all that we are saying. What support is available for them?
Yes, there is a lot of support. But let me just chip in this before I go to the support.
Right.
Some men, even though in the minority, also do experience some of these postpartum conditions.
What did we do? We didn't even.
Exactly, and that is why it brings to fore the idea that you are in it together, because the baby comes home into the same home that you are in as well, and sometimes we think that it's just the mother, but the father also plays a big role. So just to chip that in, yes. But there is a whole lot of support. In recent years, there has been a lot of work that has been done in integrating mental health into the whole maternal health system, a child welfare system within the country. So now you would even find our postnatal books having a session where the midwife or the gynecologist obstetrician is supposed to ask about the mother's mental health. So support starts by recognizing the signs, and that is by education, like what we are doing, and then opening up to your healthcare provider, can be your midwife, your doctor, whoever is there to listen, and then they will take it on from there. As I said, if they are mild issues, that they can just help you with some counseling here and there. If you need to see a therapist, there are a lot of therapists around, like Masha, does a lot of work with mothers. Right. And then also if you need medical care in terms of medication and all that, the psychiatrists and the mental health practitioners are also available. There are pregnancy schools that go on. They teach mothers and fathers, or soon-to-be mothers and fathers, how to recognize all these things. So there is some support.
Okay.
So I also like to add, yes, just as we do this education, on the part of healthcare workers, sometimes we are scared to ask certain questions and we feel that it might be time consuming. We feel that we don't have the resources. But the truth is that it doesn't take much to find out how someone is doing. So just a check-in. If you feel you don't have adequate skills, there are always professionals around within the maternal mental health who you can refer. And it's just there are a lot of validated tools out there. They are free, and any health worker who feels that they can make an impact can go ahead to do that.
Well, interesting. And I think I need to also add that if you're going through this, don't just start popping pills and thinking that, oh, you take this pill, so you're okay. No, seek professional help. And like my ladies have said, the help is available. But ladies, thank you so much. This week we are focusing on maternal mental health. In the subsequent weeks, we'll be looking at other aspects of mental health. But thank you, Dr. Josephine Starks-Darkon, psychiatrist at Kolebu Teaching Hospital and Deputy Head of Communications at the Mental Health Authority. Also here with Miss Masha Boy, who is clinical psychologist at the Obstetrics and Gynecology Department of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Thank you so much for coming once again. We're also Like that is making me feel a bit intimidated in the studio because I'm supposed to be the youngest of my guests, but I'm not looking it. I'm not looking it because they walked in here. 50 Plus Forever Fitness, Kofi Leng, Vice President of 50 Plus Forever Fitness, and Dr. Ikia Gray, Administrative Director at 50 Plus Forever Fitness. And I'm looking at them. Look at them, and look at me.
He looks okay to me.
But welcome.
It must be the suit. You should take the suit off.
I should take the suit off.
And you need to.
It will be more embarrassing.
You need to put the T-shirt.
It will be more embarrassing there. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, all is well.
It looks well.
Yes.
But let me quickly ask, how do you manage to keep it this tight?
Kofi?
Well. You know, so 50 Plus Forever Fit is it's an NGO in Ghana, and one of the reasons why we've established this NGO is to help people. A lot of people are looking for help in the wellness space, and they don't know where to go.
Right.
That could be fitness, that could be mental health, that could be dietary supplements and support, and people just don't know where to go. So we've been in the industry for a while, and we kind of formed this business deliberately to enforce, empower, and to sort of help people live longer, especially if you're over 50. So it requires a lot of exercise, it requires a lot of discipline, and it requires a lot of hard work.
Exercise, discipline, hard work. Zoltan?
Yeah, you see, so we would like, this is a reason why we look like this, because we walk the talk. You know, you can promote something if you are not doing it yourself. But that doesn't mean we are angels. I'm so sorry, but we have a glass of wine in the weekends, or, you know, or a big star, and have a little bit of carrot cake and so on and so on. But in the weekdays, you know, we restrict ourselves we are in the gym 5 times, 6 times in a week. So if you think about it, my Monday to Saturday, every morning we are in the gym. 1 hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour minimum. And this is part of us, you know, is embedded in us.
Right.
Even I don't feel well if I don't go to the gym, and like Kofi and Dr. Akuya is feeling the same. So, you know, so many people overlook longevity. Longevity is a very important part of us. You know, so many of us come into this world, you know, we want to build our career, we want to have a big car, we want to have a big house, we want to have a gold chain or gold watch and all that stuff, and we have work, and end of the day we reach 50 and we drop in on our knees. Why?
Right.
You know, it's not just about wealth, it's about health. Build your life to be healthy. You know, in Spanish they say, corpo sano, we are here, why we are existing. And you know, we are courage in our world.
The body can achieve it. So when you think about, okay, I can plan my way into health, then it's possible. You don't have to be sick like your grandmother was sick.
I just had a conversation on maternal mental health. You know, when women get pregnant, the body goes through so much. Women do so much, and so usually the body has to deal with a lot. But then as they age, then the problem starts setting in for most women. And there is a walk, I'm told, coming up that is targeting women 50 and above. Talk to me about that.
Oh, our March for Moms. Actually, everybody can come.
Okay.
We're encouraging anybody who is a mother and anybody who has a mother, and that's everybody, to come out for a day. We're going to be on the East Legon campus, the University of Legon campus, and we're going to do a 5K walk, and it's to motivate women in health.
Okay.
Because, as you know, the highest rate of obesity in almost every country is among the women. And so here in Ghana, we see a rise in heart disease for women. We see a rise, of course, in diabetes. We see a rise in obesity concerning women in particular. So we wanted to focus on making sure that women also have some motivation to live healthy lives. And that's why we chose to do March for Moms the Saturday before Mother's Day. Yes, so that, you know, Mother's Day is not just about going out to the restaurant eating, but it's about taking care of ourselves, taking care of our mothers. As a mother, bringing your children out, letting them know that a healthy lifestyle is possible, even if it's with something as simple as a walk.
I'm picturing it already, and it looks exciting for me. But Kofi, who can be part of this?
Oh, well, as Zoltan said, everyone is welcome.
Right.
And Antioquia also said, everybody has a mother, right? So, if you love your mother, come with your mom. If your mother wants to walk, come with your daughter. And it come with your son. Walk with mother. So who doesn't have a mother? And it's only 5K through one of the most, I would say, picturesque places in Ghana, University of Ghana campus. We're doing 5 miles from there, and we're actually starting behind the Baum Library.
Okay.
And then we'll enjoy the scenery, come back, and maybe interact a little bit and then say farewell to everybody. But it's going to be fun, it's going to be very energetic, and it's all for mothers. We have to remember that. The idea here, guys, is to sort of mention, it's a fundraiser.
Okay.
And so we are hopefully trying to raise some funds as well to support an entity called Saint Bakita Foundation. Saint Bakita Foundation is a Catholic foundation that looks after these women. I think their ages range from 6 to about 24.
Okay.
And it's if you look at the conditions in which they live in, and some of them want to become lawyers, some want to become doctors. These are great young ladies who are aspiring to achieve a lot, but their conditions are quite poor. So if you saw the video prior to us coming on, you realize that we showed some of the conditions that we're hoping that when we raise funds, we'll use part of these proceeds to help these women as well. So women come and walk with mum, enjoy, have fun, but also remember that whatever proceeds we're making is going towards women again. For the Saint Bakita Foundation.
So let me just also give folks the information. If by chance you can't come out and you would still like to donate to the Saint Bakita Foundation and what we are doing at our NGO, which is 50 Plus Forever, which is www.50plus-gh.org.
Okay.
And also we are taking donations via mobile money, and that is through 0533557263
Kindly
as
repeat
well.
that for me.
Okay, so the Momo money for donations, if you just like to help us out with the efforts that we're doing in the community, is 0533557263.
Right.
Yes.
So the walk is this Saturday?
Yes.
The day before Mother's Day.
Are you coming?
Oh, I want to look like you guys when I'm 50. I really want to look like you guys.
You see, that's
when I'm
another
50.
benefit. Those ones who are not 50 yet, they can learn from us.
They can learn
from
from
50.
And you're walking for moms. We all have moms. I love my mother so much. If you love your mom like I do, make sure that you take your mother to the University of Ghana campus and be a part of this wonderful one. And also, we are helping to solve problems somewhere. Who knows? That you might benefit from one of those girls someday in life. So my guest this morning is Alton Todd, CEO Forever Plus 50 Plus Forever Fitness, Kofi Leng, Vice President 50 Plus Forever Fitness, and Dr. Ikia Gray, Administrative Director Forever 50 Plus Forever Fitness.
Okay.
Someday.
Yeah.
I hope to do this. Guys, thank you so much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure. Well, this is still GA Today here on GH1 Television. We have our last interview right after this break. Stick and stay with us. Morning, and if you're an alumni or you're a student of the Ghana Communication Technology University, well, you need to be here because there is something coming. Like, you know how they say, Eba, Eba. Now it's finally here, and we are chatting about your homecoming. And I have in studio this morning Magdalene Lamte, GCTU Alumni President, and also Gideon Owusu-Yeboah. He is the Vice President of the Alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good
How are you? Talk to me about the homecoming. It's pretty exciting for you as alumni.
Yes, please. This is our maiden one.
Oh.
Yes. And since JCT was given the charter, we have to come home to make sure the current students connect with the past students. And the reason why I'm most happy is that we wanted to come home with our little drop of water to renovate our IIT lab into ultramolding lab and engineering as well. So that's why we are coming up with this homecoming.
Right. Yes. So the homecoming is not just to have fun, but there's a project ahead.
Yes, please.
Gideon, talk to me more about that project.
Okay, actually the project is centered on building up an ultramodern IT lab and engineering lab. And also to bring back those who have left for a very long time, to bring them back home so that we can connect to each other.
Right. And so what's the level of excitement when it comes to this homecoming and how people are relating to it? Past students, the students on campus, how is it like?
Oh, it's fun. And even the support from the vice chairman's executive as well. So the environment alone is awesome. At least starting from tomorrow.
It's starting from tomorrow?
Yes,
okay,
please.
Walk me through the activities lineup.
Yes, from tomorrow, we want to do corporate social responsibility. You know, when we were in school, we live with the people within the community. And as we are coming home, we have nothing to give them, but we want to do this health screening, at least touching their life with basic health screening. Then we leave them with that. Then on 7th, that's the maiden day for the luncheon. That's where the Minister for Communication is repping live.
Sam George?
Yes, Sam George is
That
coming.
is coming.
Yes, please. It's repping live. Then on the 8th, we want to do Alumni Career Day with current students. Some of the alumni work with companies and some have expertise in certain areas. We want to leverage on it for them to come home, exhibit what they have done so far in life. Then the current students will learn. And one part of the Career Day that I love so much is this drug abuse. There's something called RED. And we wanted the current students to understand the impact it's going to have on their studies and their future as well when they involve themselves in. So we have invited the Narcotic Control Board to come. Then on the 10th, that's the event at Sun Lodge Hotel, we are rewarding some of our alumni who support the IIT project and who have done well in the industry and the studies. So we are rewarding them at Sun Lodge. So dinner and Excellence Awards night at Sun Lodge Hotel, 6 p.m. And we are inviting you. You have to rep live.
I must rep live. So
yes, please.
Who is supposed to be a part of this alumni homecoming?
Actually, we are looking at Sam George. He being the guest speaker for for the luncheon.
Yes.
And also the dinner as well.
So please, I'll add up to what he's saying.
Okay.
We are expecting Nogbe, Ernest Nogbe, the Ashama MP, is repping live. Yes, we are inviting John Domelo, the Deputy Minister for Agric, because he's lover of students. And we are inviting the CEO for Ghana Enterprise Agency, Mago. She's too is an alumni. And your own Nanaya, she's an alumni as well.
My general manager.
Yes, she's repping live. Yes, women in sustainability.
Yes.
Yes, she's repping live. And a lot of them, then the Brigadier General in term is repping live. The director for drones, Soko Kofi, is repping live. We have a lot of dignitaries.
So everybody's coming home.
Yes, they are coming home for the caring students to connect with them. Because if you have rich network, you have solid network, you are rich. So they need to connect to get things done. So we are bringing them home.
Right.
They should come.
So the date again, it starts tomorrow?
Yes, that's from 6th to 10th of May.
Oh, so you're starting on my birthday.
Your birthday is
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh,
Yes.
today is our Vice Chancellor's birthday.
Oh, you see, beautiful celebration.
Yes, I want to take this opportunity, firstly, to wish the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ohene Afuakwa. Today is his birthday. I wish him long life and prosperity, and we are happy about the support that is giving us. And the second one go to the alumni out there.
Right.
Please, tomorrow is the D-Day. We want all of you to rep. The ticket for the dinner is just 300 Ghana. Please come rep, have fun, connect with each other. The T-shirt is ready. The Lacoste is 150. The T-shirt is 100 Ghana. And the GCT alumni community. Please come home and let's make our alma mater proud.
Okay, please come home. Let's make our alma mater proud. GHOne, Vice President of the Alumni, and then Magdalene, the President of the GCTU Alumni. Thank you so much for coming through. So everybody, you're going to Tesano.
Yes, Tesano. Yes.
Abeka Junction.
Yes, please.
All right, so on that birthday note, let's check out the birthdays for this morning. And if it's your birthday, we say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. This one says, Matilda Christian, I'm so grateful. Happy birthday to you and your Vice Chancellor.
Yes.
Yes, happy birthday, Prof.
Yes,
Prof.
Professor
Happy
Ohene.
birthday to you,
Yes.
Prof. You're a big man. We celebrate you. And if it's your birthday too, happy birthday to you outside there. Do have a wonderful one. God bless you richly. But that's how the curtains on the show this morning. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. God willing, we are back tomorrow. Same time, same network. Simply the best.
GHOne OV van has been one of the best vans I've used personally in this country. Well, also from this van.
I've used this OB van for quite a number of big productions, i.e. 3 music awards, the late President Rollis' state funeral, Miss Africa Awards, and a number of them.
My experience with the GHOne van has been the state of the art equipment they have. Personal experience is you can use it for both indoor and outdoor, all events, conferencing, like anything you need a van to work for you, GHOne provides it. My experience with the van has been very good. Why? Because it has a number of facilities that I may not get in other vans. You know, the